Welcome the students of class 6. Welcome back to our social science e-learning class. And today in this class we are going to discuss the another subunit from your chapter 8 of your old NCERT book. It is the Ashoka, the empire who gave up war. So previous class in this chapter we have learned about the Mauryan empire and the name of their kings and their different activities, as well as we have read about the differences between the empire and a kingdom. Now today in this class we are going to discuss a new subunit. It is the ruling the empire, and it is present in your book, page number 77. So quickly open your book and follow. So the Maurya empire, the capital of the Maurya empire was Pataliputra. And Pataliputra was situated in at the time in present day near Patna, that was situated in Bihar, the capital of Bihar. And if I draw the map of India, okay, so then it is situated somewhere near this place. Okay, so it is situated somewhere near this place. So in this way it is Pataliputra, in the place in present in today's Bihar. So this is West Bengal. Okay, this is not exactly, but it's a representation map. Okay, so the emperor directly ruled from the capital Pataliputra, and he also appointed lot of officials who maintained the law and order, also collected revenues for the emperor, because revenue are the main sources of income of the emperor from it was used in various purposes, such as building their palaces and other monuments, as well as to run the welfare work for their subjects, and also maintain the expense of warfare. Okay, so the officials who were appointed by the emperor, they collected taxes from the farmers, herders, craftspersons, as well as from the traders. And officers also punished those people who disobeyed the rulers. Okay, and the officials were given salaries for this, for their work. Okay, and messengers also appointed by the emperor who went here and there and collected news, and also they distribute the letters and messages. And the several spies also appointed, and they kept a watch on the officials who were appointed by the emperor. Okay, because if some officials they not follow the rules and regulation, and if they were not following the official decorum, then they had also punished by the emperor. Okay, so except this, emperor supervised all these officials and run the administration with the help of royal family members, means the other members of the king's or emperor's family, and senior ministers. Like you have read about the Kautilya or Chanakya, the prime minister of Chandragupta Maurya. But what about the other provinces? The emperor is a huge place, is not a small place, so it is not difficult to rule the entire country from just one place. So that's why, for convenience of their work, they divided the entire empire into some small part, and this small part were called provinces, like today's state and districts. Okay, and what happened at the time, that some and those provinces also ruled from a capital such as Takshila and Ujjain. Takshila is situated here in present day Pakistan. Okay, this is the map of Pakistan. Okay, so it is situated in present day Pakistan, and also the Ujjain. Ujjain is in today's Madhya Pradesh. It is also a important place in Madhya Pradesh, today's Madhya Pradesh. Okay, and it is in today's Bihar, Pataliputra. Okay, so these are the three provincial capitals, and from these provincial capitals, the princes, means the son of the king or emperor, they appointed as the provincial ruler, and they ruled these provinces for the emperor. Okay, but some amount of control also present from emperor, and local rulers and local rules and customs might be followed on these provinces, but some kind of control also present, because if king totally gave independent to those, if king would give independent to those provincial princes, those ruled those provinces, then they might be separated their provinces from the empire. So that's why always some control were imposed on those provinces. So Mauryas also tried to control the roads and riverways, because at that time the two main mode of communication was the roadways and as well as the waterways, water bodies, mainly the rivers. So they also, as well as whatever resources were available on their empire, okay, they also collect tax on those resources, and sometimes they collect tax or tribute from the people who just use those resources. As per Arthashastra is a book, you know, that written by Vishnugupta Kautilya Chanakya, the prime minister of Chandragupta Maurya, that northwest was important for blankets and South India for its gold and precious stones, and might be collected as a tribute. So the northwestern province, means the Takshila, this region is very much famous for their blankets. Okay, and the South Indian region, this region is famous for their gold and the precious stones. Okay, like lapis lazuli, like the ruby, emerald, etc. So the kings also collected those commodities, those products from the traders as a tribute. Okay, and for this, and in the exchange of this tribute, they can participate in the business activities and trading activities. They can continue their business activities in those regions, and king gave them protection. So what is the meaning of tribute? You have to know first. The tribute means, tribute is a one type of gift that collected on a regular basis, and it was taken and possible when people gave a variety of things and more or less willingly to the king or emperor. So this is called tribute. So I am repeating again that tribute was collecting on regular basis, and it was taken and possible when people gave a variety of goods and variety of things more or less willingly to the king. Okay, so this is called tribute. And tax means that was some amount of things or a money that was given by the people, and it was mandatory. It was not based on their will, it was mandatory. Okay, so people living in the forest areas at the time in the Maurya dynasty, they also brought tributes such as elephants, timber, honey, wax for their kings. Okay. So this is the, so in this way the Mauryan Empire ruled. So there is a small account given in your book, that is the Megasthenes. Megasthenes was an ambassador who was sent to the court of Chandragupta by Greek ruler Seleucus Nicator, who was the general of Alexander, and after the death of Alexander, when the Alexander's empire was divided among his army generals, and Seleucus Nicator got the eastern part of his empire, means the region nearby the northwestern provinces of India, these regions. Okay, so these regions, today's Afghanistan and Central Asia, those regions got by received by Seleucus, and Seleucus ruled at the time, and he sent his representative or ambassador named Megasthenes, and Megasthenes described all his experience when he spent few years in India in a book called Indica. Okay, the name of the book, Indica. So that's all from today's class, and the yellow box present in page number 78, just you have to know the name of the ambassador Megasthenes, and from where did he came from. So only that information is necessary from this yellow box. Rest of the portion will not come in exam, and it is not the part of your syllabus. Okay, so thank you students, thank you for watching, see you in the next class.